Yo, what's going on, guys? Dungeon Runner Tank here, and I have a Majespecter deck profile for you guys. So to get things started, we run 2 Nekomata. Now, this card right here, I was running it at 1, and I bumped it up to 2 because it's a pin scale 2, and also it has pretty high defense. So, especially if you have the field spell on the field plus Great Fly, it actually has quite a bit of defense, and it also has a good effect. So, you know, pin scales 2 and everything. Also, level 3 can be useful occasionally. So, I basically bumped it up to 2. It's actually really good. And we also run 3 Bunbuku, because he's basically the main searcher of the deck. Just search out any Majespecter monster. This is any Majespecter card, but activates at the end phase. So you basically, if you open up like not very optimal, you can just normal summon Nekomata, activate effect, and then, you know, hopefully set a Majespecter spell or trap card so you can use it on your opponent, and then basically search this at the end phase. We run 2 Yada. And the reason why we actually run this at 2 is because we run Ties of the Brethren. Otherwise, we would only run 1. So he basically searches out a spell, Majespecter spell card, and we only run 1 Majespecter spell card, so there's that. We run 2 Ogama. You can actually run this at 3, but I actually kind of like him at 2. You don't really need the third one. So he basically just sets a Majespecter spell or trap card. Then we run 3 Kiabi, or however you pronounce it. So this just searches out your Majespecter trap cards, and it's also pin scale 2. All the other pendulums in this deck are pin scale 5, except for Nekomata. So now I have basically 5 pin scale 2s. So that's pretty good. So that's all the Majespecters right there. And also run 2 Luster Pendulum the Draco Slayer. And this is actually really good because you can basically use this effect to pop something like this and then search out the other one. So it's basically just generally good. And then you can also run the Synchro in this deck if you wanted to. And if you have Electromite, this card can get even better because you can just put it into your extra deck, then add it to your hand. So yeah, it's really good. We run 1 Drone Lockbird, 2 Effect Veilers. Now, with this right here, Drone Lockbird's supposed to be at 3, but I only have 1. So the Effect Veilers are basically just there for hand traps. So with this deck right here, I'm trying to run 6 hand traps. So I try to run probably 6 to 8 hand traps. I would really consider running 3 Drolls, especially since it's good in this format. Yeah, and also you use the field spell on this, so if you end up opening up bad, you can still normal summon it, use the field spell to pop it, and then you special summon any Majespecter monster from your deck. And also run 3 Ghost Ogres. So yeah, once again, if you have like more hand traps and better hand traps, of course use them. And something else I'd be tempted to use is actually Artifact Lancia or Ghost Spell Haunted Mansion, and just run that like 2 or something, because I did go to locals, and it's like whenever I draw and locked like a Goki player, they would just be like called by the grave. I'm like, it kind of ruins your place. So it's something to consider. So 1 Majespecter Cyclone, Raigeki, Dark Hole. So I only run these because board wipes, you know, you end up going second, you can just wipe their board. And the Cyclone just for the additional search. 1 Pegasus, Secret Village of the Spellcasters, Terraforming. So I typically try to use this if I activate Ties of the Brethren, and I basically have enough protection and I have like enough Spellcasters on my own field that I can just activate that and lock people down. So it's pretty good in regards to that. Then we run 3 Called by the Graves. And this is to, like, for the most part, Majespecters aren't that weak to hand traps, but if they know how to use them, it can really mess you up. So they can basically ogre the Draco Slayer, or they can ogre the field spell, and that could potentially make you neg a lot. And if anything, the main reason why you would run it is to protect yourself from getting ashed when you use Ties of the Brethren, which is basically the MVP of the deck. Now, with Majespecters, the Wind Witch engine is actually a bit better to use in here. I just don't have the Wind Witch engine, but otherwise, this is like good enough. I run Warning, Judgment. I used to also run like 2 Solemn Strikes, but man, like it's all about hand traps right now. Like, traps don't even really do much, which kind of sucks. I run all the Majespecter trap cards, or at least the main ones. So 3 Tornado and 3 Tempest. So it's basically like having 3 searchable Solemn Strikes and 3 searchable Cosmojos. Unfortunately, it's like, once again, like it's all about hand traps in the game right now. But if you go up against rogue decks, you can really like mess people up with this. And if hand trap format ever goes away, it'd be pretty lit. It'd be pretty sick to see this. So I run 2 Great Flies. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't have Electromite. But if you have Electromite, you should definitely run it. I would run 2 Electromites and 1 Great Fly. Possibly 2 Great Fly. But this is basically just the wind that gives you 500 attack and defense. I run a couple of Nightmare cards, just because why not? This one right here mainly because co-link monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So you can like protect your Great Fly and whatnot, and protect your little Majespecters. And you get this right here. This one can't be destroyed by card effects. So those are really the main reasons for those. Triple Burst Dragon, just because why not? It can really be anything. FA Dawn Dragster, because you can occasionally make synchros, but for the most part you don't. And I also don't have the Draco Slayer synchro, so if you have that, you should definitely run that. Otherwise, Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Totem Bird. This card can actually be pretty strong, because otherwise, if you go up against someone and they basically evenly matched you, which is why I would consider running Artifact Lancia in your main deck, potentially, because like evenly matched will mess you up, because you can easily have your field completely filled. And if you can't negate that, you basically just lose. So Totem Bird can negate that along with Solemn Judgment. So it's basically something to just consider. Break Sword, just because it occasionally comes up. Lightning Chidori, because Lightning Chidori is really good. Tornado Dragon. Utopia package, so you can get over those big monsters. Then we run 1 Ultimate Falcon, because we have Waking the Dragon in our side deck. And also because you don't want to completely lose to True Dracos. So I have Effect Veiler in my side deck, just cause. And 3 Artifact Lancias to protect you from those evenly matches and whatnot. So all the monsters, Majespecter Sonics. I really only have this in here just in case I go up against a deck to where they bring out like a really big monster that's unaffected by like everything. So they bring out like a Cliphort Towers. So this right here will basically make it easier if you can't easily go into a Utopia, because it will double your Majespecter's attack and defense, like its current attack and defense. So Field Spell plus the Great Fly plus this, you got quite a bit of attack. 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Just a Drowning and a Storming. You could really actually run like 2 Drownings if you wanted to, which is actually what I was considering doing, but I don't have a second Drowning. But like the idea behind this is that it's still something to be experimented with, but if you go up against the idea is that you go up against a deck that has like a lot of monsters and everything, and they're too scared to like nuke your board because of Waking the Dragon. So, and your, basically your spells and traps tribute your monsters to basically strike, banish one of your monsters, one of your opponent's monsters, or pop one of your opponent's monsters. So there's actually quite a bit of situations to where you'll just have no monsters on your field, so you can just be like Drowning Mirror Force. And Storm Mirror Force returns it to the hand, so sometimes it's not really that effective, but Drowning can really mess people up. 2 Waking the Dragons. Amazing. 2 D barriers, just generally good. And then we also run 2 trap stuns, basically for evenly matched and trap heavy decks. Now, the thing about it is that I run trap stun over Red Reboot because I tested Red Reboot and I was getting so mad because I'd pay half my life points to activate it, and then they would just reset their card, then they would just set another card from their deck, and it made me neg like so many times. So trap stun it is. You know, I'm not paying half my life points, especially with the new time rules going around. I mean, I literally had to take strikes out because they're not as good this format, and also time rules. So yeah, otherwise, guys, that's the deck. Let me know what you think. I really like Majespecters, and the core of the Majespecter cards is like $8 or $10. So it could be a potential like investment if you wanted to make that. I'm not sure if Majespecters will ever be good again though, but otherwise it's a good rogue deck. Don't expect to beat like Sky Strikers and everything. I went up against Sky Strikers. They completely destroyed me. I almost had them because I had Utopia the Lightning and I had the Field Spell on there, but of course they would have an out to that because they had Infinite Impermanence, and then they had that Diablos card in the graveyard. So it just basically really messed me up, and they basically got me with that. But otherwise, guys, Done Trying to Tank, signing out.